Thank you for staying with us. I thank you for joining us. It looks like global warming has done a number on us again, because this is end of October and we're still suffering floods. We shall focus on the one in Isheri for today. Residents of communities around Isheri, Arikbu, Lafenwa, and so on, and the adjoining areas to the to Ogun State around the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway axis have raised the alarm over the threat of flooding caused by an excessive release of water from the Onyon Dam. Most of the residents who reside in the lowland areas of these communities were caught unawares as they woke up to the sight of water spread around their premises on Tuesday morning. We have two gentlemen who live in the areas we're talking about, who will join us for this discussion this morning. Dayo Ayondokun is the chairman of Shorun Heritage Estate in Isheri. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
And we also have the chairman, Isheri Estate Communities, Mr. Gbenga Oshobu.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Oshobu. Well, you live right next door to us here.
Correct.
So tell us, Tuesday must be a very bad day in your memory. What exactly happened?
Okay. Thank you so much for this opportunity to discuss this flood issue. It's not only Tuesday that was a bad morning for majority of our residents here. It has been a recurring, a perennial issue here. And as a community, we have invested so much in combating this menace of a perennial flood. It happens that many a time family have to, relocate from this place.
For how many months? All through the rainy season?
Yeah, I think it's usually between September to November, and that period, everything around this place is practically shut down. Schools, businesses, so people cannot just live their normal life during this period. And as a community, without government effort, we've done so much with the little we had, putting up a structure like a perimeter fence because we are bordered with the water, the river that flows from Kara Bridge. So the whole community on this stretch have invested so much in putting a concrete wall, to shield their estate from this water issue. Also of concern to us is lack of clarity about the schedule of this water release. This year, we know that there will be release of water. We're going to face this, and we put some measure in place. We've invested in things like industrial pump to pump water out. We've even raised the road profile, the road level across most of our estate. So we were prepared, but this year has been a year like never before. The water level was so excessive that even our best effort have not been able to stem this. If anybody cares to come to our community at this moment, everywhere is underwater. I also hear that government has given an advance warning regarding people staying on the lowland. The question we ask ourselves is, this Isheri community alone, chairman will speak to that. But in my estate, where I am the chairman, we have well over 300 plots with over 600 families. The question is, at this point, where do we move them to? If government is saying people should relocate, what are the preparations? Are there arrangements to move such people? Are there provision for like an adequate camp where people can be taken care of? Our simple request is this. If the management of Onyon Dam can manage the release of water over the years, that is one. Two, the river that borders our estate across, that river needs to be deseated, needs to be maybe a form of dredge so that it can take more volume of water so that we don't expose ourselves to this menace.
Okay.
I think we've done our bit and we're at our end point, you know. We just want to appeal to government to do something very drastic at this point for us.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Shobo, Mr. Ayodokun spoke about getting a schedule of water release. Are you making any headway in that regard? And what effect will a schedule have on this perennial flooding?
Thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. And in time past, we were given schedule, we were told, and we were given details of the enormity of what to be expected. And the management of that dam in the past had been so wonderful that we knew when the gates would be opened and when they would be shut. We knew how many millimeters of the gate would be opened and when that would be reduced.
So you knew how much water to expect?
To expect.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, since the resumption of the current management under Mr. Odumusu, we have been kept in the dark. One, did not engage the stakeholders. Two, all we'll see is just a release, maybe 2-3 days before the damage is done, that water will be released. In those days, we used to interface with the management, and what they do is from April, they tell us what schedule and they start releasing water. We need to let the government...
Just a moment. So they start releasing water from April,
yeah,
gradually?
April, gradually.
So there's no big
yeah, but
flood.
We have an issue that we need to call the attention of the presidency and the current Minister of Water Resources too. We have it, it's official that foreigners are fishing on the dam. And they are being given prominence over the people that are supposed to enjoy the benefit of the dam. Two reasons why dams are created: irrigation and management of flooding. But now it is in the opposite. As I speak to you, we have fishing companies that are engaging in cage fishing on that water. For fear of the
what
fishes.
Fishing?
Fishes.
Did you say cage?
Yeah, cage fishing.
What's cage
fishing? They are caged in the dam. So, because to preserve the lives of these fishes, they will not lower water below the top of those cages. Unmindful of the fact that we are at the receiving end when eventually we do not have enough room for this water that transit from many parts of the country into that dam. Eventually, by the time the dam is filled up, it throws the gates open. As I speak to you, we have resettled 43 families. People have left their homes. Like my brother said, we're talking about lowland. Lagos is below sea level. Lagos itself is below sea level. Even Netherlands, that is below sea level, can be inhabited by people. Why not Nigeria? That is one. Two, the excuse of moving to Ireland. Where are the Irelands? Is an Ireland?
Sorry, Mr. Shobo. Is government asking the communities to relocate permanently? Abandon their properties and relocate?
That's been the advisory over the years, that they should relocate at a time like this. When we relocate, as I speak to you, there are close to 6,000 houses in the whole of this community. In the whole of... Isacom is made up of 23 estates. Now, where do they relocate to? That is one. Two, when you're asking us to relocate, we should remember that, first and foremost, these houses were approved. The infrastructure there were created by government. At the time, Lekki was not habitable. Today, people are living there. Morocco, same. So if they could do that in those places, I think it is a wake-up call to government to come and do the needful here. So, unfortunately, the Federal Minister of Water Resources has not visited this place. In 2012, we had terrible flooding here. Jonathan came around. In 2019, we had another one. 2019 was not as much as 2012. Then we had the governor of Ogun State, then governor, and present governor and deputy. They came around, they appealed to us, and they assured us that a new dam needed to be built to relieve us of this. Now we have a presidency that's in the same party as the governor. I think there's an opportunity for the governor of Ogun State and Lagos to talk to the presidency to see what can be done.
Okay, Mr. Shobu, just a quick one. Before the development, so it doesn't look like we are vilifying government unjustly or unduly. Before these developments began to spring up, was there any information given to the community, to anyone who wanted to build whether the houses or the estates, that this area was flood prone?
Really, in the year 2000, when Isheri met Tinubu, the current president, saw the opportunity in these houses. The scheme behind Channels Television, the LSDPC, was conceptualized and built and sold out. People have been living there in peace. Thereafter, the Isheri estate, the Isheri GRA was put in place and people subscribed to it. As I speak to you, there are close to 7,000 plus in the Isheri GRA alone. Now, Lones was earmarked for housing by Ogun State government. Down beyond Isheri North, up to Ishawo, our estate coming up. If Lagos State is suffering from housing deficit, I think it's an opportunity for the government to look this way.
No, you are not answering my question, Mr. Shogo. I understand that we will never have enough houses in Lagos.
Okay.
20 million plus people. We will never have enough. We were just talking about slums in the communities before we came on air. But was this place always flood prone before the houses began to come up? That's the question that I'm asking.
I wouldn't know because I was not here then.
Okay. Was there any information given to anyone in the community trying to bring up any development? I'm asking you in particular because you are the chairman of the entire estate. You are like the governor of this Isacom right now. Was there any such information given to the people that this is a flood-prone area and, occasionally these kinds of things might happen?
Thank you very much. We are sharing the same hemisphere with Lekki Phase 2.
Okay.
They are on lowland like we are on lowland. I remember in the days of Fashola, His Excellency Babatunde Raji Fashola, he stopped issuing approval in Isheri North on the ground that he had information that the place was not going to be habitable. Before then, hundreds of houses have been built. And when His Excellency Governor Ambode came on board, experts came around and they saw the need for that place to be developed, that it is doable. I remember Ministry of Environment officials came and there were promises of building embankment to protect that estate. Thereafter, the estate on its own spent close to 60 million naira building embankment to protect the milieu. Unfortunately, since after Ambode, nobody has told us that we cannot inhabit the space of land. And since after then, hundreds of houses have been built with approvals given, and then the building regulated by government agencies.
Just to be clear, when approvals are given, money is paid?
Of course.
Okay. Mr. Ayodoko, do you think, he has said that about 23,000 houses? Just 23 estates in this area?
Yeah. Yes. 23 estates in these houses.
Sincerely speaking, I want to believe that at least one or two government officials live in or around this area. I'm just assuming. Do you think the enormity, because speaking from experience as well, I was there. I drove through the flood to, I don't know the name of the estate further down the road.
That's Lekki Gadi.
You wouldn't get to Lekki Gadi at a time like this.
Okay. Whichever one it was. It was unpassable.
True.
Even though the car was a little elevated, this car literally swam.
through the water.
Any car that's a salon car cannot.
True.
So do you think sincerely, yes, the governor of the commissioner for the environment came to this area, I think it was, he said he came on Tuesday. We had a discussion with him on Tuesday. What's your perception of what he said? How sincere do you think the government of Ogun State is on this matter?
Okay. Again, maybe before I go to that question, let me just make one or two comments on what he has said. I think if there's a commitment on the part of government, we should not be in this situation. And I say that with a sense of responsibility. I've been a community leader for a while in this community. And I can tell you, from road infrastructure to provision of water to electricity, we virtually provided everything by ourselves. If government is making promises, yes, the promises are made, but how about the promises that were made years before now? What has happened to them? So why do we take this particular one with seriousness? I didn't listen to the conversation the commissioner or whatever promises he has made, but I'm just talking generally from history. The promises that they've made, which of them have we seen the realization of?
Such as?
I remember the deputy governor of Ogun State came here, I think like 3 floors ago, and yes, we appreciate the fact that at least you show empathy by coming here. But what has happened between then and now? Nothing. Absolutely nothing has happened. And like I said before, 3 things are very critical to save this area from my own perspective. In the last 2 weeks, we've not had good sleep in my community. We resume in the morning to see what we can put in place to, alleviate the issue. We close by 12, from 8 to 12. Then we resume around 6, maybe to 9. So it's very simple. Perimeter fence, retention wall is very, very critical. If that is done across the whole community, down to Ikorodu, I think it could be a national project. It could be a collaboration between the 2 states, but that has to be done. Secondly, the river has to be deseated, because to take more volume of water when the dam is releases water. Over the year, the river bed has come up because of deposit over the year. That has to be deseated. If it is the dredging or the city, something has to be done. And thirdly, like the chairman said, the management of Oyon Dam, I think whoever is in charge has to probably sit up, because we're talking about the life of people here. Yes.
Okay.
So
has to go now.
In closing, Mr. Oshobu, are you making any effort to consult with the management of Oyon Dam so that you can impress upon them the importance of this matter, so you'll be able to extract from them a promise to give a schedule on time so that you all will know what is going on?
Thank you. We've done that before, and we continue to do so. Unfortunately, the man is unreachable as I speak to you.
Unreachable?
Yeah, the man that should show concern.
Maybe you should send a delegation to the governor.
Beyond the governor, we are taking this matter
to the federal level.
To the presidency. The man, I don't know if the man is not competent or something.
Okay.
So I think we'll move beyond what we have done.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for coming.
So the president is on notice.
The chairman, Isheri Estate Communities, there are 23 communities in this neighborhood, Mr. Gbenga Oshobu, as well as the Oshonru Heritage Estate Chairman, Mr. Dayo Ayondokun. Thank you both for coming to apprise us of this flooding issue in this particular area. Well, Channels is in this area, so we're suffering it as well. Thank you for staying with us. Sunrise will be right back with another interesting conversation in just a moment. Stay with us.